Hi, this is the Hotbox, telling you that this video might have some sensitive stuff in it, so take a second if you need to and go check out something else. Otherwise, please enjoy the show. This channel is sponsored by ExpressVPN. Click the link, please. I need to buy bread.
Everything's fine, got some merch in the store. It's hot, it's burning, it's trending, I'm buying. Everything's fine, got some merch in the store. I miss that outside where somebody can save me. What's it gonna do with all that stuff? You can wear it or burn it or give it to your dog. Everything is fine, got some merch in the store. It's hot, it's burning, it's trending, I'm buying.
Wow. Listen, I do my best to be impartial and present to you evidence that is available on a situation so that you can form an opinion for yourself. And of course I give my own 2 cents. I'm a commentary channel. It's part of the job. And I do my best not to get overly emotional. But considering the topic of today's video, I'm about mad as hell. And I have to be very careful with what I say in this video because YouTube's been pretty careful about demonetizing this topic. If that happens, the video's effectively censored, and I can't spread this message, and I won't stand for that. So let's do our best, you and me. Well, you're already doing great. Let's remember our safe words that I'll throw up on screen right now. We've got Destery, Gray, and Rope. And with all that in mind, let's talk about the Destery response to the accusations of Rope against him. Because this thing is, well, it's not good. Welcome back to the channel, new and returning, young and old, fans, haters, and everyone in between. If you're new here, why not subscribe and click the bell too. It's quick, it's easy, just takes a second, and you can always undo it, but it really does help out the channel a lot, so thank you. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the story to date, Destery was an old school YouTuber, been on the platform for a while. He's dabbled in a bit of everything, but his humor's always been a little suggestive, and his content amounts to average clickbait, top 10 lists, things like that. In any other hands, effectively harmless. However, slowly but surely, stories about who this guy really was behind the scenes came out. One of the biggest proponents was his former creative partner, Nate.
What I can tell you is why I personally quit being his friend.
And he did good giving a platform to a lot of voices. Unfortunately, in that time, stories have come out about Nate that he wasn't quite the spotless guy in the background either.
Nate is not innocent. He's not the perfect angel that y'all think, because when he was 22 in 2011, he slept with my 15-year-old friend. In 2011, I was about 15 at the time, probably about to turn 16. But my friend Cynthia was 16 at the time, and then she met them at the fair. She's even in one of Captain Destery's vlogs. They ended up driving her home that night, gave her his number, and they started texting. Nate lived with him at this time. Or to their house again another time because of course my best friend is hanging out with him. So I'm gonna do whatever my best friend is doing. And Nate is now sleeping with our younger friend. So remember, we're like 16, she's 15. That was so weird, because he's dated many an underage girl. He's talking to Lita when she was 15. You have Georgina, who moved in with them when she was underage. Nate's not innocent.
I suggest you do your own research into that, because even though that is serious, that's not the main focus of the video today. Several victims came forward. We've reviewed their stories here on the Hotbox before. I'll use this section to catch you up to speed with a few of them.
I was feeling so bad because I thought I was the only one. I was like, maybe it was my little stupid. No, it wasn't. I told one of my friends and they knew someone you did it to as well.
So I mentioned to him that I was doing cosplay and I went to competition. When I tell you that this gross mother asked me a whole bunch of sexual questions about hentai and cosplay, disgusting.
Emojis, then proceeded to be very flirty, and I was like, huh? Which, he was in his 20s. I was a 14, ill child, and I thought I was making a friend.
But I did send like kind of suggestive photos, and when I was 20, maybe 21, they were sent back to me. So they'd been held on to, and when I said, please delete them, I don't feel comfortable knowing you have them, we don't talk anymore, like I really don't want you to have them, I was told no. They are in a secret place that no one will ever find them. I'm not deleting them.
And the release of information hasn't just been limited to TikTok. People have come out on Twitter with receipts, stories, everything. And to anyone who was hurt or negatively impacted in any way by this man, I sincerely hope that you're doing everything that you need to heal, and I hope your voices continue to be heard. This problem is indicative of a bigger issue facing the world right now, and to see it happen with someone in a position of power over minors no less, it's truly disgusting. Again, if you are impacted by a situation similar to this, if you are feeling the effects, I want you to know, in case no one's told you, that I love you. You're doing great. I'm proud of the fact that you're here. You should be proud of yourself for waking up every day, and I believe you'll be strong. You'll be alive next year. However, the accused Destery doesn't seem to share my sentiments, because he found it appropriate that while still hiding behind privated social accounts, that he would come forward with his side of the story. And to be fair, there are always two sides to every story. However, in this situation, things are pretty cut and dry. What Destery should have done is left the platform. His existence is a reminder of the pain his victims suffered. So Destery releases this nice, compact little 4-minute video. And when I checked in on it, it had pretty low views. I think I understand why, because the fact that he refuses to take any kind of responsibility would turn anyone off from this video. Don't worry, I'll suffer through it so you don't have to. And we're gonna see what he has to say for himself.
So I took some time away from the internet to try to assess how to handle everything going on right now, in the hopes that what I say will reach an actual audience and not just people that want to see me fall.
Alright, this feels like some doublespeak to me already. Let me tell you why. Because A, to any sensible person, considering what you've been accused of, there shouldn't be a lot of thought behind responding. Apologies and potential legal repercussions are owed here. I don't think anyone, especially the people that were impacted by you, want to hear a defense story. And you talk about it reaching the right audience. This feels like code speak for, I wanted to see if everything would die down so that I can still sucker in whoever stuck around.
So first off, I just want to say I am aware of accusations being made against me. And what I can say is while I can't agree with some of the things being said about me, I'm also not completely innocent in everything.
Yeah, Guy, I think you're a little more than not innocent. I think you're guilty. I don't think there's anything for you to not agree with. You know, what kind of cognitive dissonance is that? It's like, wow, look at all these facts I'm going to ignore.
I will say that nothing is completely black and white. There are obviously two sides to every story, and especially the ones that I can personally take accountability for. So what I can and will admit to is that I used to be just a terrible person. I was a big piece of I have been very vocal about the fact that I was a big piece of shit. It has never been something that I've ever tried to hide. In fact, my mom will be the first person to tell you that I was a terrible person. I was a liar, a cheater. I was a giant man whore in my past. I tried to see multiple women at the same time. A terrible friend? Absolutely. But do I think I'm any of those things anymore? No, I really don't. Am I any of the other things that people are saying about me? Absolutely not. However, I am constantly sorry about the person that I was, and I'm constantly saying sorry for the person that I was, constantly trying to distance myself from the person that I used to be even 5 years ago. And truthfully, I think I've come a long way. I mean, depending on how long you've watched me on this channel, I'm sure you can see the same thing about me and my content. I am not the same person I was 12 years ago when I started my first channel.
Destery, you talk about taking accountability. Just one question. When? Do you think just making a video on a topic is taking accountability? No. You say that you're sorry, and you do what you have to make things right. And in your case, that is getting away from any platform where you could still commit these acts or remind your victims of what you did. You bring up this idea that you've changed. You're so sure that you've changed. And personally, I think you believe that because you grew some patchy facial hair. But let me tell you something. I don't care what you personally think under that beanie, because in this situation, that's not what matters. What matters is the feelings that you've hurt over your career and through your actions. You think that you've changed when you were doing all of this as early as a couple of weeks ago? I mean, this whole situation is barely a month or two old. You're telling me you've changed in that short of a time span? Yeah, I'm so sure.
I've made friends, I've lost friends, I've made lovers, I've lost those lovers. I've made constant mistakes, I've failed dozens of times. But each one of those things was a lesson that made me who I am today, and less of the person that I used to be and the qualities that I hated about myself. Whatever I was, I'm not that person anymore.
I'm not the same person. Where have I heard that before?
The fact that I cheated on my girlfriend with people who I didn't realize were even underage in the first place. But I promise you, I'm not that same fucking person anymore.
Whatever I was, I'm not that person anymore. Not that person anymore.
Duster got his original victims videos claimed to try and suppress the message.
Not that person anymore.
Oh yeah, that's where. Dusty, if you're saying sorry so often, how come I don't hear it in this video? How come I didn't hear it at the start where it belongs? How come I didn't hear it throughout? I hear you say the word sorry in a sentence, but I don't hear you actually apologize. Do you see my problem here? You talk like it's a matter of changing who you are as a person. And to an extent, yes, but this isn't some ring around the rosy YouTube drama. This is serious crimes. This is actual offenses. So pardon me for being rude, but how do you change that? You know, what part of your personality do you adjust to remove the pain that you inflicted on people? I'd love if you'd tell me. Write a book about it, why don't you? Better yet, cry me a river.
That said, I am still human. Those aren't the last mistakes I'll ever make. And if there's anything I ever do that's shitty, that irks you, or I make you uncomfortable, or you think that I step over the line, communicate that with me. Let me know these things. Because another thing to note is that my brand is jokes. My brand is weird, creepy humor. It's always been that way, and it will probably always be that way. It's just who I am, and that's presumably why you started watching me in the first place. But I would still like to be told when something I do crosses a boundary, whether that be something I say in a video or something that is proven to be true about me as a person. Communicate that with me.
Are you kidding me? Listen, Destery. When there's stories about your advances not being reciprocated and you still proceeding with them, that's kinda someone letting you know, alright? But not just that, it shouldn't be other people's responsibility to tell you when something you're doing's wrong, right? You should be able to read the air. Own your actions, man, and face the consequences. Oh, and by the way, how are we supposed to communicate with you when you've privated every way to get in contact with you? Not to mention the fact that you turned off comments and the like to dislike ratio. But you know, that's not censorship, right?
And with any accusation, normally in an ideal world, you are innocent until proven guilty, but I have only ever seen it to be the opposite. Anyone online is always guilty until proven innocent, and I can't support that idea. And as such, I know that a ton of people have already made up their minds about this situation, and even if I was to explain context of some of the things being said about me, not only would it not help people's image of me, but it would also be dragging someone else's name to the mud. And that is just something I can't do. Even if it exonerates me and everything is great, but it was at the expense of someone else being thrown under the bus, I just won't do it.
Okay, listen closely. Now is not the time to talk about innocent until proven guilty. Because yes, that is a good school of thought to have, most of the times. But it doesn't really apply when there's so much evidence against you that things kind of become undeniable. You feel me? This is not the place to make that argument. Nor is it the time to morally grandstand. You talk about how, oh, I have this way that I can save myself, but I'd have to do this to another person and I won't do that because I'm such a good person. You see, I've changed, guys. If you think that's how you demonstrate change, you have some serious reconsideration to do.
So I understand that some of you won't accept that answer, and if this is where we say goodbye, I understand. Just know that I feel blessed to have been in your life at all. But to those who choose to continue to grow with me, just know that I will continue to distance myself from the piece of shit that I used to be. I have been, and I will continue to strive every day to be the best version of myself. And as I said, if I ever slip up or you feel like I fail, communicate that with me.
Is he still talking about communication? Are we serious right now? Listen, I had hoped that you would say goodbye at some point. I hope anyone who's still being manipulated by you says goodbye at some point. But I'll be honest with you, buddy. The goodbye, at least that I wanted, was you saying goodbye to this platform.
Also, really quick, I do want to say I disabled comments on this video simply to prevent people from fighting in the comments. The last thing I want to do is to spread any more negativity than has already been spread, so please understand the purpose in that decision. That said, feel free to reach out to me. If you do choose to reach out to me, please make sure it is one of the links in the description down below of this video. My previous 2 Snapchats were hacked, and on both occasions I reached out to Snapchat to see what could be done, and apparently nothing can be done about it. So for safety reasons, yes, please don't contact anyone saying that they're me. That isn't one of the links in the description down below. I don't have a kick. I don't have a public phone number. That being said, thank you for listening and for giving me a chance to be heard.
Yeah, you got a chance to be heard. I just don't like what I hear. All this communication talk. No way to actually get in touch with you. You know what you're doing. You only want people who would give you a chance to talk to you anyways. I get that. Also convenient of you to talk about your social medias being hacked here of all times. But again, drop in the bucket. You want my 2 cents on this? Here it is. Let whatever happens to this guy happen, but I don't think he deserves to be on a platform around anyone that he could potentially endanger. I'm not telling you to go spread hate. I'm telling you to raise awareness so that we can get something done about this guy. If not for my sake or for your sake, for the people that were hurt by this person who believes that a 4.5-minute video is enough responsibility for him. I want to thank you for watching and urge you to like this video and share it so that we can spread the message. Whenever you're watching this, I hope you have a good rest of your day and an even better tomorrow. I love you. And before you say it back, look in the mirror and say it to yourself. And I will see you in the next episode of whatever I make. Until next time, this has been the Hotbox. Bye.